And we're going to begin lying down in a semi-supine position. So bringing yourself to lie on your back with your knees bent, feet flat to the floor, knees can rest in against each other. Arms can rest by your side or perhaps on your torso. And we're going to gently close the eyes, or maybe just lower the gaze if that feels better for you this morning. Just starting by attuning to the breath. Just observing, not trying to change anything. Just watching the inhale and the exhale. And bringing your attention to the places of the body that are in contact with the earth. Feeling grounded. Just letting yourself settle into this hour, for this time, this space that you've created for yourself. Morning to you. We're just starting lying down, just to tune into the breath. I've got it stuck on record just in case you didn't quite make it. Just getting yourself comfy. And this morning we're going to start with a 3-part breath, which some of you will have done before. So if you want to bring both hands to your belly, fingertips just lightly touching each other, elbows resting at the side, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. And starting to deepen the breath and see if we can bring the breath into the hands, into the belly. Really directing the breath as deep as you can into the belly. As you inhale, the fingertips move away from each other. As you exhale, they move back together. Very consciously drawing the breath all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. Feeling the belly rise and fall. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring both hands to the lower ribs, to the bottom of the rib cage. Again, fingertips lightly touching each other, elbows rest at the sides. And we're going to direct the breath into the rib cage. So release the focus on the lower belly and bring the focus to the rib cage. Feeling the expansion of the rib cage with every inhale. Expanding outwards and to the sides, not just upwards. Feel the pressure into the mat at the back. Feel the expansion and the contraction. Each inhale, stretching the muscles in between the ribs. Each exhale, they relax back together. And then we're going to bring the fingertips up to the collarbones, just lightly resting on the collarbones. And we're going to attempt to bring the breath into the fingertips. Really filling the lungs all the way up to the top. Seeing if you can feel the gentle flutter of the breath just behind the collarbone. And this one is the most challenging, so if you find it difficult, just imagine the breath coming right up to the top of the lungs and behind the collarbone. It all comes with practice. And we're going to bring the three parts together now. So we're going to return one of our hands to our belly, leave one on your collarbone or maybe on your ribs if that's more comfortable. And just relaxing the breath for a moment while you listen to my voice. We're going to take our next breath in to the belly, into the chest, into the collarbone. And then as we breathe out, we're going to release it from the collarbone, the ribs, the belly. So you can really feel the three distinct stages like a wave. When you're ready, breathing smoothly into the belly, chest, collarbone, exhaling from the collarbone, from the chest, from the belly. In, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. With your own breath. I don't want to guide you too much on the timings, but just breathing in that sequence, that lovely wave motion in and out. A really calming and gentle breath. A lovely one to practice if you're feeling some anxiety. You can practice it sitting up, you don't have to be lying down. And a fantastic one if you're struggling to sleep as well. Really feeling those three parts of the breath connected to each other. Utilising the whole capacity of the lungs. Just another breath or so here now. And then releasing the arms, releasing the breath, returning to your natural rhythm. Perhaps just noticing if your breath feels smoother, if you feel calmer, more present. And when you're ready, gently opening the eyes and bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. So that might be legs straight out in front of you, might be legs crossed, it's entirely up to you. Just making sure the sitting bones are grounding down and the spine is long, rolling the shoulders back and down, letting them relax away from the ears. I'm going to inhale, bringing the chin to the chest. Exhale, taking the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhaling, chin to chest, exhaling, gaze over the left shoulder. Taking a few neck rolls with your own breath. And if you feel you want to let the head hang in any particular position to work any creaks out, feel free to do so. And when you're ready, coming back to centre, to a neutral position, we're going to bring the arms out in front of us and we're going to rotate the wrists one way and the other. And then bringing the arms up overhead, we're going to make fists and release quite quickly, build some warmth in those forearms. And then bring the hands out in front of us and give them a good shake off. We are going to be a bit heavy on the wrists today, so if you need to stop and repeat any of those at any point, that's fine. We're going to bring the legs wide now. Not bring them too wide, it's our first motion, but we're working on the core, working on the hips today, really building some inner strength there, just to reflect the fact that it is Mother's Day and we're all strong women, ploughing our own furrows in life on our own journeys. So pulling the toes up towards you, so we're engaging the kneecaps, we can feel the legs working, lengthen the spine up. Take a breath in and as we exhale, just leaning forwards, hinging gently from the hips, walking the fingertips out. Just till you feel some resistance, not going too far. Just taking a moment in the stillness here. Inhaling, walking the fingertips back in, just bringing the fingertips behind the hips, rolling the shoulders back, taking a very gentle back bend, pushing the chest through, maybe opening the throat if it feels nice. Keep pulling those toes up towards you. Inhaling back to centre. As we exhale, we're hinging forwards from the hips again. Maybe going a little bit deeper this morning if it feels comfortable. Then we're going to walk the hands over towards the right ankle. We're going to bring the left hand onto the right ankle or the right shin. We're going to sweep the right arm round behind us and we're going to lean in towards that right leg. Keep a slight bend of the knee if you need to. Just a very gentle twist. Inhale and release that right hand. Let's walk the hands over to the left towards the left ankle. So the right hand comes to the left ankle or left shin. Sweeping the left arm round behind us, just tucking it round and bending in towards that left leg this time. Just feeling that on the outside of the lower back. Inhale and release that left arm. Walk yourself back to centre and back up to seated. And we're going to slide the hands under the knees to lift the knees back in. And we're going to come to bring the soles of the feet together into Badakanasana, allowing the knees to fall open. We're going to make sure that the sitting bones are grounded down, the spine is long. We're going to bring the hands to the feet or to the ankles. Inhaling, lengthen the spine, and exhaling, hinging forwards, just till you feel some resistance again. So only our second move. Inhaling, easing yourself up again. We can bring the hands under the knees to bring the knees in. And bringing the feet perhaps to the width of the mat with the knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Prop yourself up on your hands and we're just going to windscreen wiper the knees from one side to the other. And if your knees don't hit the floor, don't worry. We will be by the end of the class, I imagine. Lovely. Coming back to centre. We're going to bring ourselves over onto our knees and we're going to take a moment sitting back into Child's Pose. Maybe bring the toes together, the knees wide so you can really get down inside. Maybe making a little pillow with the hands to rest your forehead on. And just a reminder that Child's Pose is always available to you if you need a little rest. You just need a moment. When you're ready, bringing yourself up onto your hands and knees. Hands directly under shoulders, knees are directly under hips. If you're feeling it in your wrists this morning, maybe bringing the hands a little further forward of the shoulders. We're going to take a breath in, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button up, pushing into the back of the shoulders for a few rounds of cat-cow. Exhaling, lifting the sitting bones, melting the chest through gaze, coming up last of all. Inhaling, tucking that tailbone under, just repeating another maybe 3 or 4 rounds of this with your own breath. Again, as we do with the neck rolls, if there's any areas that feel particularly juicy that you really want to get into, spend a bit of time there, feel free. And then pushing up into the back of those shoulders. One more each way. And then coming back to a neutral position. On the inhale, we're going to reach the right leg behind us. We're going to reach the left arm out in front. And as we exhale, we're going to crunch the knee in towards the elbow, pushing up into the back of those shoulders. Inhale, reaching them away. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching them away. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Really crunch them in, really pull in tight, push up into the back of those shoulders. Inhale, reaching them away. Popping that hand and knee down. Inhaling, let's reach the left leg out behind us, right arm out in front. Pulling the belly in, keeping the gaze focused on the mat. As we exhale, bringing the right knee to the right elbow to the left knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching away. One more time, knee to elbow. Really crunch it in this time. Hold it there for a second. Inhale, reaching away. Exhale, bringing that hand down. We're going to come down onto our elbows, palms are flat on the floor, and we're going to lower the hips to come into Sphinx pose. Gaze is between the fingertips. I'm going to relax the legs, the buttocks, the lower back, spine draping gently down from the shoulders. Nice gentle back bend. Then inhaling, we're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes under and come back onto our hands and knees and then float the hips open back into downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the day, so keep the knees bent first of all. Walking the heels up and down. Melting the chest through the ears between the biceps. If your head will wobble, make sure you're not holding too much tension in the neck. Really press those hands down, press the mat away from you. When you're ready, beginning to settle the heels. Lift those sitting bones up to the sky. Just take a moment here. Inhaling, we're going to reach the right leg up behind us. We're going to bend the right knee, allowing the right foot to fall backwards over towards the left sitting bone and bringing the gaze under the right armpit. Inhaling, straighten that leg. As we exhale, we're going to step that foot halfway up the mat. We're going to flatten the right foot and we're going to come onto the outside of the left foot. We're going to open the right chest, lifting the right hand for a modified side plank. Lift those hips. Keep pulling them up away from the mat. Gaze can be to the top hand or to the mat, it's up to you. Exhaling, release that right hand down to the mat. Unwind yourself back to downward facing dog. Lowering the knees towards the mat. We're going to lower the elbows again towards the mat. Palms are flat on the mat. So we're on all fours but on our elbows. And we're going to do some cat-cow movements into the shoulders. So we take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to really push up into the shoulders, push the elbows into the mat, bring the shoulders away from you, and as you exhale, slumping into those shoulders, the shoulder blades move together, the face moves towards the mat. Inhaling, pulling the face away from the mat, pushing up into the back of the shoulders, shoulder blades move away from each other. Exhaling, shoulder blades move together. We're dropping in between the shoulders towards the mat. One more each way. Inhale, pushing away from the mat. Exhale, allowing the shoulder blades to move together. Coming back to neutral position, coming back up onto the hands. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to float ourselves back into downward facing dog. I'm just going to turn around for this next one. So again, walking the heels a little bit in downward facing dog if that feels nice. And we're going to inhale the right leg all the way up behind us. We're going to, as we exhale, we're going to tuck the knee into the chest, coming high on the left toes. Take a breath in here, and as we exhale, we're going to slide the right foot through, out to the side underneath the left armpit, and on into a side plank variation the other way. Sorry, I probably should have demoed that one rather than just going straight into it. My fault, sorry. Keep lifting those hips, beautiful. Exhale, lower that hand down. Bring that right leg back in for downward facing dog. Lowering the knees and sitting back into child's pose. It might be nice to bring the hands back towards the feet, back of the hands on the mat. Allowing those wrists to relax just for a moment. Maybe giving them a little rotate while you're relaxing in your child's pose for a second. Then we're going to reach the arms back out in front. Coming back up onto our hands and knees. Tucking the toes under, and as we inhale, floating back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to lift the left leg all the way up behind us. I'm going to bend the knee, allowing the left foot to drop towards the right sitting bone, gaze under the left armpit. Allow that hip to open. Take a breath in here. As we exhale, let's step the left foot halfway up the mat. I'm going to flatten the left foot, come onto the outside of the right foot, opening the left chest and lifting the left arm for that side plank variation on this side. Lift the hips, gaze to the top hand only if it feels good for your neck. Take a breath in as you exhale, but bringing that left hand back down, unwinding back to downward facing dog. Lowering the knees. We're going to come onto the elbows again. Hands flat on the floor. Take a breath in here as we exhale. We're going to step the right foot back onto the toes and the left foot back for a forearm plank. Pulling everything in, every muscle in your body is working to hold you here. And then lowering the knees, coming back up onto the hands. I'm going to tuck the toes under and lifting the hips up and back into downward facing dog. So you know what's coming on this side. Apologies for the other side. And then inhaling the left leg up behind us. Exhale, coming high on the right toes, tucking the left knee right into the chest. Take a breath in here as you exhale, shooting that left foot out to the right hand side, coming onto the inside of the right foot and opening the arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Can you imagine what we could have achieved on the other side if I'd got it right? Exhale and lower that hand down, bring that left leg back into downward facing dog. Lowering the knees. And sitting back again for a moment in child's pose. Bring those hands behind, palms facing up. Give those wrists a little rest. When you're ready, bringing the arms out in front of you, we're going to come to lie down on our front. So we're going to bring the forehead to the mat. We're coming into Locust Pose. So we're going to bring the forehead to the mat, the arms by the side, fingertips pointing towards the feet. And take a breath in here as we exhale. We're going to lift the knees, the feet up off the mat, the chest, the head, and the arms. And really reach those arms back. Squeezing the glutes, feeling all the muscles in the back working. Exhale, lowering down, rest the forehead on the mat. We're going to do that exactly the same again. When you're ready, take a breath in as you exhale, lifting everything up off the mat apart from the hips and the core. They're really grounding down. Everything else is lifting up away from the mat. Inhale, lowering down, resting the forehead on the mat. If that felt like enough for you, then for the third variation, just carry on, do another one. If you want a little bit more, we're going to reach the arms overhead. Take a breath in as you exhale, lifting everything up off the mat and reaching the arms forwards. You'll feel the difference in the middle of the back with the weight of those arms overhead. Exhale, lowering everything down. Bring the hands under the forehead. Make a little pillow, just rest there for a moment. As I always say, it's not a dramatic back bend, but it is a strong one. We're bringing the elbows now directly underneath the shoulders, palms facing down, tucking the toes under, lifting up this time into the forearm plank. So coming up into it rather than lowering down into it. Then if we can from here, we're going to plant the hands under the shoulders and come up into a full plank. One hand at a time. Lovely. Take a breath in and as you exhale, float back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to walk the tiptoes towards the hands. Little steps, keeping the feet, the legs straight as far as you can. So find yourself in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Keep a slight bend in the knees. And bringing the hands to the waist, slightly making sure that the knees are bent as you bring the upper body up to standing into Tadasana at the top of the mat. Grab a quick drink here if you need to. We're going to do a couple of rounds of sun salutations. When you're ready, come into the top of the mat. The feet at hip distance, really spread those toes out. Feel into all four corners of the feet. Grounding down. Pulling the kneecaps up, engaging the thighs. Tucking the tailbone under slightly as we pull the belly button in and roll the shoulders back and down. palms face forward. Shoulders are relaxed, shoulder blades moving down the back. Jaw is parallel to the floor, and we're standing up as tall and as proud as we can. Take a breath in, let's sweep the arms all the way up in a big circle, gaze to the thumbs. And exhaling, hinging from the hips, swan diving down, fingertips to the mat, slight bend of the knee if you need to for Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, refold, fingertips come down to the mat. We're stepping the right foot all the way back, lowering the right knee to the mat, right foot is flat down. I'm going to bring the hands just to the front knee. Inhaling, bringing the fingertips down to the mat, and we're just going to sit the hips back, straightening that left leg for a little runner stretch in between. Keep a slight bend in that left knee if you need to, pulling the left toes towards you. Exhaling, coming forward, reframing that foot with the hands, tucking the right toes under and stepping back into plank. Lovely, lowering the knees, then the chin and chest towards the mat, keep those elbows tucked in, and then we're going to push through for a gentle cobra, keeping the elbows bent. Exhaling, we're tucking the toes under and we're floating back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, reach that right leg all the way up behind us. Exhaling, tucking the knee into the chest, stepping it through between the hands, dropping the left knee down, flattening the left foot. Bringing the hands up to the front knee. Exhaling, dropping the fingertips to the mat. Let's sit the hips back. Pulling the left toes towards us, right toes towards us. I'm going to get that tattooed on my hands on my feet one day, I swear. Inhaling, bringing yourself forwards. Replant those hands either side of the foot. And we're going to step the left foot to join the right at the top of the mat in Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, refold. Inhale, sweeping those arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, folding straight into our second side. You might be able to keep the legs straight this time. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold, fingertips come down. Let's step the left foot all the way back. Inhaling, we're going to reach the arms all the way up this time. Gaze those thumbs if you can. Exhaling, the hands come down. We're stepping back into plank. Lovely, lowering the knees, chin and chest towards the mat, coming through for cobra. Keep those elbows tucked in, keep the glutes engaged. Tucking the toes under and floating yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, reaching the left leg all the way up behind us. Exhale, tucking that knee in, stepping it through. If it doesn't make it all the way there, get hold of it with your hand, make it come with you. Drop that right knee down. Inhale, reaching the hands all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. We're stepping the right foot to join the left at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, refold. Inhale, reaching the hands all the way to the top. Exhaling, hands are in prayer at the heart. Reground yourself, spread those toes out. Tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly in. We're going for another round. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, refold, stepping the right foot back. We're staying high on those toes this time. Make sure your feet are on train tracks rather than on a tightrope. As you bring the body up and then reaching the arms strongly above us for a high lunge. Exhaling, the hands come down, stepping back into plank. Your choice now, you can either do knees, chin and chest as we have before, or if it's in your practice, chaturanga, pushing through to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, floating back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach that right leg all the way up behind. Exhale, stepping it through. Again, staying high on those left toes. Inhaling, bringing the body up nice and tall. Exhale, reach the fingertips. Bringing the hands down either side of that right foot. Let's step the left foot to join the right at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, refold. Inhale, reach. Exhale, refold, second side. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, Badakanasana. Stepping the left foot all the way back this time, staying high on the toes. Inhale, reaching the arms up, bending deeply into that right knee. Gaze to the thumbs if it feels good this morning, if your balance is firm and strong. Exhaling, hands come down, stepping back into plank. Again, your choice, knees, chin and chest or chaturanga. Pushing through for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, pushing back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, reach the left leg all the way behind. Exhaling, we're stepping it through. Stay high on those toes. As you lift the body nice and tall, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, hands come down. Let's step the right foot to join the left at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, refold. We're going to plant the hands. We're going to step ourselves back to downward facing dog. We're going to inhale the right leg all the way behind us, and exhale, we're going to step it forwards, but we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lovely. Just drop that left knee for me for a moment, and just hang in there for a minute. Let the hips hang, let gravity do its work. And then we're just going to walk that foot out a little bit further away from the right hand. So you've probably got maybe 6 inches, something like that, between the hand and the foot. If that feels like enough, if that's a big enough stretch for your hips, stay here. If you want a little bit more, we can try and come down onto the elbows. Might get one elbow down, might get both elbows down. It's quite interesting to see where we are from one side to the other here. And if you want a little bit more from there, we can tuck those left toes under and lift that left knee. And we're in lizard pose. Gazes forwards with the fingertips. Replace that left knee, come back onto the hands if you're on the elbows. I'm going to sweep that right leg back to downward facing dog. We're just going to lower to the knees and take a moment in child's pose before we do the other side. And while you're here in child's pose, just bringing your attention to how that felt to do that pose. We store a lot of emotions in our hips, and strong hip openers can prompt us to release them. You might feel some unexpected sadness, unexpected joy, unexpected anger, possibly with me for making you do it. When you're ready, coming back up onto your hands and knees, tucking those toes under and floating back into downward facing dog. Let's have a go at the other side. So inhaling, let's lift the left leg all the way behind us, and exhaling, stepping it to the outside of the left hand. Dropping that right knee down, flatten that right foot. Let's just hang here for a moment. Now I'm going to walk that foot a little bit further out again, so you've got about 6 inches between the foot and the hand. Take a breath in as you exhale. We can come down onto the elbows if it feels good. Hands can be flat, or you can interlace the fingers if that feels better. And if you want a little bit more, you can tuck those right toes under and lift the right knee off the mat. And you might notice a difference between one side and the other. This is definitely my easier side. Lowering that right knee down. Coming back up onto the hands. Let's unwind that left leg. Push back to downward facing dog. Walk the heels up and down a little bit before dropping the knees, and we'll have a moment in child's pose on this side as well. Lovely. When you're ready, ready, coming back up onto your hands and knees. Back up to downward facing dog. I'm going to step the right foot now between the hands. Then we're going to turn the feet so they're both pointing towards the long edge of the mat and sweep ourselves around. I'm going to turn around so I'm facing you. Sweep ourselves around so we're in a wide leg forward fold. Flat back about halfway. Make sure that the toes are pointing inwards, so you're slightly pigeon-toed. And keep a slight bend in the knee if you need to. Now bring your attention to your hips and make sure that you're hinging forward from the hips and that you've got length in the spine. Fingertips are on the floor in front of you. Lovely. Take a breath in here, lengthen the spine forward, bring the gaze forwards, and as you exhale, folding more deeply in. Again, you might be able to bring your head to the mat, you might be able to bring your elbows to the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, coming back onto the fingertips, spine's about halfway. We're going to bring the left hand in front of the face. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to open the right arm up to the sky for a twist. Keep a bend in that left knee if you need to. Inhaling, bringing the right hand down in front of the face, and exhaling, opening the left chest, the left arm up towards the sky. Inhaling, coming back to centre. Slight bend in the knees as you bring your hands to your waist and bring yourself strongly up to standing. You're going to turn the toes out this time. Bringing the arms wide, just check that your ankles are roughly underneath your wrists. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, we're bending the knees, so the knees are above the ankles. We're going to bend at the elbows, coming into goddess pose. Beautiful goddess poses, strong goddess poses. I'm going to straighten the arms, straightening the legs. We're going to turn the right toes to the short edge of the mat. We're going to turn the left toes to 45 degrees. So we're bringing our feet into warrior position. Hips are square with the long edge of the mat. Arms are wide. Take a breath in. We're going to bend that right knee deeply. Make sure you're not lunging over those front toes. You might need to lengthen your stance like I did if you need to. And take the gaze down that front hand. Inhaling, straighten that knee. Sweep the arms up. We're turning the toes back out for the goddess feet. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine up, and as we exhale, sitting back and down into goddess pose. Beautiful. Well done. Straightening the arms. We're going to turn the feet this time to the left hand side. Have a little wobble like I did. Left toes point to the short edge of the mat, right toes 45 degrees, hips square with the long edge of the mat, bending that left knee deeply for warrior two on this side, gaze down that left hand. I'm going to windmill the hands down either side of that foot, stepping the left foot back to join the right and downward facing dog. Lowering the knees. Taking another moment in child's pose. I'm too generous with these this morning. When you're ready, walking the hands in, bring yourself round to a comfortable seated position. I'm saying that, don't get too comfy. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together again for another Badakanasana. So this time, find that comfortable place. Your feet might be out here, they might be in here, wherever that is. Bringing the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to fall open. And then I want you to bring the hands, make sure your sitting bones are grounded down nicely. And I want you to bring the thumbs into the ball of the foot. And we're going to open the feet if we can. So we're opening the feet like a book. I don't know if you can see that properly. Lengthen the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Tucking the chin gently, maybe closing the eyes. Just taking a moment here in the stillness, feeling the openness of the hips, maybe noticing if it's any different than our first Badakanasana at the start. And then folding those feet back together, wrapping the hands around the toes so you're really sealing the soles of the feet together. Take a breath in to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, hinging forwards as deeply as feels comfortable for you. Don't force anything. Really like it if you could all still walk tomorrow. Inhale and lifting the gaze, bringing yourself back up. We are going to use the hands to bring the knees back in. And we're going to come into boat pose a couple of times. So we're going to bring the knees bent, feet flat to the floor. For the first one, let's bring the fingertips next to the hips for a little bit of balance. Roll the shoulders back up and down, make sure you're right on your sitting bones. Take a breath in, let's pull the toes in towards us to help us to lift the chest. And as we exhale, let's lift the left foot. Pop it back down. Lifting the right foot. Popping it back down. This time, let's lift both feet. Pull those knees in towards you. Lovely, chest is proud. Cross the legs at the ankle. Sitting the feet back down. Hinging yourself gently forwards. Just into an easy forward fold. Inhaling, walking the hands back in. Coming back with our knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Let's try no-handed this time. If that felt like you wanted to keep those fingertips there this morning, that's fine. But otherwise, we're going to try and bring the hands out in front of us. Pull those toes in towards you, make that move that lifts the chest. Take a breath in, let's lift the left foot. Exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, lifting that right foot. Exhale and lowering it down. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, let's lift both. Lovely, so shins are parallel to the floor. Chest is lifted, fingertips pointing in the same direction as the toes. Lovely. Cross the feet at the ankles the opposite way. Ease yourself forwards. If the spine rounds a little bit, I'm not too worried. Inhaling, bringing yourself up. Knees bent, feet flat to the floor. We've got one more. This time we're going to go for straight legs if we can. If it felt like enough where you were, please stay there. But if you want a little bit more this morning, we're going to reach the arms ahead of us. Pull those toes in, lifting the chest. Take a breath in. Let's lift that left foot. We'll still prep in the same way. Exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, lifting the right foot. Exhale, lowering it down. This time we're lifting both feet either into half boat pose or into full boat pose if we're feeling strong this morning. Keep reaching the fingers forwards, keep pulling the chest up. Couple more breaths here. And crossing the legs at the ankles. Whichever way is comfy, easing yourself forward. Folding quite deeply in this time, enjoying the openness of the hips. Inhale, easing yourself up, and we're going to come to lie down on our backs. Knees are bent, feet are flat to the floor. I'm going to pop the left ankle on top of the right knee, allowing the left knee to fall open. Just stay there for a moment. If that feels like it's enough, stay there. Otherwise, take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to pull the legs in towards us, just using the core muscles, we're not using anything else, and we're going to make sure that we're pulling the toes up towards the shins. Hold it there. Feel those core muscles working. And I'm going to thread the left arm through that hole that we've created. The right arm comes around. We can either meet them behind the thigh, maybe in front of the shin, and really pull those legs in towards you. Take a breath in. As we exhale, let's lift the shoulders and the head. Let's crunch right in towards those knees. Keep pushing the left knee away. Exhale, lowering back down, but keep pulling the legs in. releasing the hands, we're going to allow the left foot to drop over to the right hand side. So we're keeping the legs in the exact same position, but the left foot is flat on the floor, the right heel is coming towards the buttock, and we're pushing the left knee away. So we're in a nice twist. From there we're going to open the arms wide. Gaze can come over the left shoulder if that feels nice. Otherwise you can keep it to the ceiling. Entirely up to you. Maybe gently closing the eyes. We are spending a few breaths here. I want you to really focus on trying to relax through the torso. So making sure the shoulders and the arms are grounding down. Both shoulders are on the mat. If they're not, then make a little adjustment so they can relax back. Feel the openness of the rib cage. Feel the breath expanding and contracting it. Feel the abdomen. Let it relax. The left leg is active, pushing the left knee away. When you're ready on an inhale, let's bring the arms in. Let's press the palms down so we can bring the legs back into centre. Flatten both feet to the floor. Just stay there for a moment before we do the other side. When you're ready, we're going to bring the right ankle onto the left knee, allowing the right knee to fall open. Just take a moment, allow that right knee to really fall away. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let's pull those legs in towards you. Pulling the toes up towards the shins. Feeling the strength all the way through the core, through the hip flexors. When you're ready, let's thread the right hand through that hole that we've created and join it with the left, either behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Pull those legs in towards you. Take a breath in as you exhale. Let's bring the shoulders and the head up towards the legs, crunching them in. And your next exhale, releasing the head and shoulders back down to the mat. Keep pulling the legs in. And releasing the hands, let's allow the right foot to fall over to the left hand side. Right foot is flat on the floor, the right knee is pushing away. Left heel is towards the left buttock, and we can open the arms wide. Again, gaze to the right hand or up to the ceiling. The right leg is active. Both shoulders are grounding down into the floor. We'll relax through the torso. The breath can move freely and easily. Feel the openness of the torso. When you're ready, releasing the arms, bringing them back in. You can use the palms flat on the floor to help you to bring the legs back up. Unwind the legs, and we're going to release down into Shavasana. Arms and legs are straight, hands are away from the body with the palms facing up. Feet flop out to the edges of the mat. Everything's relaxed. Or you might prefer to keep your knees bent and your feet flat to the floor. Shoulders are both grounding down into the mat. And make any little adjustments that you need to be comfy for the next few minutes. Gently closing the eyes, maybe just lowering the gaze. We're going to return our awareness to the breath. Just observing the breath. Maybe noticing the quality or the rhythm of the breath, whether it's changed since the beginning of the class. But not holding any judgment there. being aware of the inhale and of the exhale. And gently we're going to bring our attention to the feet. Bringing our attention first to the big toe and letting it all relax. Relaxing the second toe and the third toe. Relaxing the fourth toe and the little toe. Relaxing the top of the feet. Relaxing the soles and the heels. Relaxing the ankles. Relaxing the lower legs. Letting the front of the knee and the back of the knee relax. Relaxing the thighs, the front and the back. Relaxing the buttocks. Relaxing the hips, allowing them to feel open and grounded down into the mat. Relaxing the lower back. Relaxing the stomach. Relaxing the middle of the back and the chest. Relaxing the shoulders, allowing them to fall open. Relaxing the hands and the fingers curled gently into the palms. Relaxing the lower arms and the elbows. Relaxing the upper arms. Relaxing the neck and the throat. Relaxing the face. A little space in between the eyebrows. Relaxing the jaw and the tongue inside the mouth. Relaxing the back of the head and the scalp. The whole body is relaxed. And if you can, I'd like you to try and visualise a cloud, a beautiful colour surrounding you. Cloud of colour can be any that you like. Vibrant red, beautiful blue, green, yellow, whatever colour comes to mind. Imagine that colour surrounding your whole body. And we're going to begin with every inhale to bring a little bit of that colour inside us. Filling the body up from the toes all the way to the top of the head. Excuse me. When you're ready on your next inhale, we're going to breathe in a little bit of that colour and it's going to go right to the tips of our toes. Filling up the feet, up to the ankles, maybe part of the lower legs. And as we exhale, letting any tension, any worries release down into the mat. On the next inhale, that beautiful colour is going to fill from the shins up past the knees, the thighs into the hips. And as we exhale, the hips are open, releasing down into the mat. As you next inhale, breathing some more of that beautiful colour in, filling up the stomach, the torso, up to the chest, maybe starting to spill over into the arms. And as you exhale, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Inhaling now, filling up the fingertips, the hands, the lower arms, the upper arms. As you exhale, release. Let go. One more nice smooth inhale now, bringing the colour up the throat, into the jaw, up to the top of the head, maybe past the top of the head. As you exhale, release. Visualising now that beautiful colour filling the whole of your body, surrounding you. You're absolutely at one with that colour. You can feel the energy of it, feel the power of it. Feel that that colour is bringing you exactly what you need today. Whatever healing, whatever inspiration, whatever energy you need, draw it in now. When you're ready, letting the visualisation go. Letting everything go. Just be. Just be. Gently now starting to bring your awareness back into the room. Becoming aware of any sounds outside of the room. Noticing any sounds inside the room. Starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe rotate the wrists and the ankles if that feels good. Feels nice, maybe reaching the arms overhead. Making a big stretch all the way from the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes. And when you're ready, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug. Maybe rolling around on the lower back a little bit if that feels nice. And slowly, when you're ready, rolling yourself over onto your right hand side. And bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting bones grounded down, spine is long. And bring the hands into prayer at the heart. And just offer a little moment of gratitude for whatever this morning's practice has brought you. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed it.